All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew episode 1105 for this beautiful evening. It is a Memorial Monday. We just want to have a little bit of remembrance for all those who gave all. They all sacrificed, but some of them gave more than others. And so we should always pay homage to those who gave it all for us to have these freedoms so we can meet up on this beautiful Monday on this wonderful internet in this free society and learn to get some securities licensing because we can level up in this country anytime we want. We just got to make that choice. And tonight, you all made the choice. So I am super honored to have you guys all here, blessed, really, because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here, and we really do appreciate it. I mean, we got people all the way from the East Coast to the Midwest to Hawaii, Alaska. We got them all over the place, and even across the seas. So thank you all so much for being with us on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing and get those notifications in and spread the word of Kona. Tonight we are and always talking about how to pass those FINRA, NASAA exams, how to pass the SIE, how to pass all those great exams, those securities exams, so that way you can get that little bit of edge that you've been missing, so that way you too can get a pass notice. Who am I? Well, I am Andy. I am the guy that runs the back office over here at KonaButterflyz. And you're not here for me. You're here for Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know. So that way you too can get a pass notice. And like I said, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about getting that passing edge. I know there's a lot of folks out there who do different types of programs. There's always a new flavor of the week. There's a lot of flavors that have come from Kona. I'm just saying, there's a hot one out there right now, and they take a lot of aspects of what we've been doing for the last, I don't know how, 7 years, 5, 6 years, and they adapt it to themselves because this is the only part that they can adapt it to, and they take one little piece and then they're like, well, that's the part that works with Kona, and that's what part we're going to take, and then we rebrand it, we put our name on it, and then we push it out there and make it that easy thing that everybody can have. Look, I love the fact that we're being copied. That's awesome. It means you're like the standard, right? I mean, the Apple iPhone had to come out first
That's true.
before we got the Droid.
That's true.
You know what I mean? There's always these different things that come out first for we have those other things. But one thing that I do know, um, we have that edge. We have that little bit that you need. We have that little bit of thing that nobody talks about. Nobody can duplicate because Brandy's not on those other ones. We talk about we talk about all those different keywords and those connections, all these different things that help you really get that passing notice without having to honestly read like a 489 page LEM or whatever else they have you read, right? Having you go through this content in a fast way, but in an efficient way. But more importantly, showing you how to effectively pass the exam with techniques and strategies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how to get this pass notice. I wish you could see behind the scenes. Brandy is so weird. I'm just gonna throw that out there. It's like just grab your cup, but get that extra edge so that way you guys can get that to done. And tonight we are going to be talking about that edge. We're going to be linking up these key words. We're going to be taking these quiz questions and we're going to put up these questions up on the screen. And we just simply want you to start noticing things and connecting the dots. We want you to start noticing things and putting things together like a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We want you guys to put things together for all my Latin brothers and sisters like a beautiful torta. You know what I mean? We just know what goes in there and we can put it together. And when I see one component there and I see one component there, it can only be one thing. And we just pick that thing. And that's the answer. May not all know all that's going on. We may not know all the things that are about it, but who cares? It's about getting a pass notice. It's a system in which to get a pass notice, guys. It's a small taste of what we do to get a pass notice. It's a pass notice that we want to talk about. It's a pass notice that we're all about. It's a pass notice that we want you to get time and time again. It's a system, no matter what you plug in it, it's all about getting a pass notice. It doesn't matter what exam. In fact, we teach this stuff to our kids. We teach this stuff in high school to high school kids. We teach this stuff, and people like who are going to go take their medicals have used us to go get past their medicals so they can be a doctor. Guys, it doesn't matter. It's literally tonight you're going to see some hacks on how to get it right. We call it techniques, but really it's exam hacks for these things, right? If you really want to know the strategy, if you really want to know and how to dig into how does she do that? How does she do an 85 question quiz or an exam in less than 10 minutes? That's where we have the paid. Like, what are we? We're not silly. We're not giving away everything for free, but we do give you the hacks. We give you some stuff every on the Mondays through Thursday. And I know there's a lot of people on here that have been told, hey, just come in after he talks, and then you get into the quizzes, and then you learn that stuff, or you fast forward past me and you get to the quizzes. But I guarantee you guys one thing, that all of this stuff, even me talking about what we do, even the part where we talk about the positive mental attitude, it's all designed for you to have the right mindset into getting a really good pass notice. And as we were talking about last night or last week with Juan, who is a really big RVP in Primerica,
Mm-hmm.
got this thing done, finally committed to the program, finally understood what we're trying to do here, struggled with the SIE, but once he plugged it in, like started really doing what we do and stopped doing what he wanted to do, he got a pass notice.
True.
And then the next thing you know, he passed the Series 6 first try. 63, honestly, I feel like he would have done that with the first attempt as well, but he didn't know about the time thing and he ran out of time. But then the next time he anteed up, boom, passed the 63. No problem. It's all about, and this is the biggest difference between all of us here at Kona and everyone else. We're not interested in you guys just getting the SIE done. I know that's crazy because everything that you're going to go to is focused on one exam. Let's talk about teaching you all about content so you can go past the blank exam, right? Fill in the blank. We're not talking about that. We're talking about passing multiple exams because it does you no good to get past the SIE other than you get to move past the SIE and you get to actually take a real securities exam test after that. And some of you might be misinformed and you might think, oh, I thought the SIE was a securities exam. I thought that was a license. Yes, it's part of the process, but it is not a license to do anything. It's all it really is a gate, and you get to walk through the gate, and then you get to go into this world and go take those exams, so that way you can go do that business, right? Those are the licenses, but you haven't made it past the gatekeeper if you haven't made it past the SIE. So we're not interested in just getting the SIE because we want to move past the gate and move on to getting the licenses. So this is a system, this is the taste of the system to get you there. So as we do the Monday and as we show you everything that we do, I just want you to know this is not just about teaching you content. We do have our own content. We make it very simple. We make it very much to the point. We have our own books. We have it to where you can see the components easily. We have it to where you can literally just see those things, what you need to get and what you need to do. So that way you can get a pass notice. And like I said, everybody in the beginning, if you just have joined us, we wanted to pay tribute Memorial Day today. I know that some people think it's all about barbecues and cookouts, but really it's about all those men and women and all those people who served for us to protect this country so that way we can go get these licenses and protect those freedoms. So we remember and we are honoring all those today on this Memorial Day, and we thank you all for being here. But as I was saying, Brandy, as we get into this program, and we do have these study programs, know that content really, honestly, is so secondary. If you had to rank it, right, Brandy?
Yes.
We want you to get through the content. We need to get into where we really work, and that is mastering the exams. It is mastering the system to master the exams. I should put it that way. It is mastering the exam system, really, to like get past it, to move on. So that way you can really, and that's how it really works, right? It's like you just learn the system and then you just get better and better and better.
Yes.
Yeah, good job, Brandy. All right, and then we got course videos, we got all exam sessions. We did one today. We have all member sessions, small group tutoring, all that great stuff. We got books for sale, SIE 663, 2665. We have interactive videos that play in the books. We got Kona Community, we're Discord, where you can post questions, get questions answered. We even have a Telegram. If you haven't joined our Telegram, join our Telegram. If you just like a simple bulletin board and you don't want, and you just want simple notifications and you just want to know nice notifications of people who passed, actually, you can scroll up in our history and you can go look at all the people who passed because I post them there as well. And you can read their testimonials in that Telegram as well as get notifications for all upcoming events and anything that might be going on sale soon, right? Just a hint. And we have that QR code 951-290-3077. Give a call, give a text. That QR code has everything. So that way you can get all of our links, get everything in there. And we even have a video and explains our whole program. And you can check that all out in that link tree. It is there. And join up, join in, subscribe, whatever it is, do that. Get onto the Kona train, watch everything. So that way you guys can start getting your securities license and get into that system. All right. What do we got tomorrow, Brandy?
Everything.
Wow. Not everything. We got the SIE, the sixth, the Kona study hall, and small group tutoring. What do we do in the SIE today, tomorrow?
Accounts.
All right. Six.
Account maintenance.
All right. I know what Brandy's doing. She's thinking about all that we're going to do in the next minute, but we got the accounts, we got account maintenance, and then we have the study hall and small group tutoring. We offer a lot of stuff in those live sessions. Those live sessions, look, even though Brandy's talking about a topic, we're going over the topic as it pertains to passing an exam. How are those questions going to be asked? How do we get into those questions and how do we get past them?
I'm teaching you application of the content.
Yes, that's the difference between the lives and the content you get in your membership. The content you get in the membership is just all the plain facts and simple things that you need to know, the details about the topics, really.
Mm-hmm.
But we try to get past that and we go right into the application on those live sessions. So you really want to be there on those sessions. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to it, Brandy. It is Monday. It is the Kona catchphrase. We're going to put questions up on the screen. I'm going to read the answers because that's how we do it here first. We read the answers first. That way we read the questions with intent. We are going to pick apart those answers. We're going to make observations, not always securities related or securities vocabulary. We are going to look at simple vocabulary. Vocabulary you already know. Why? Because you already know it. I mean, when you learn a new language, don't you want to use the words that you already know? Maybe the words that look closer to your own language that you already speak, right? Easy, the relatable ones. So we're going to use those. We're going to use those to make observations. We're going to use those to make connections. We're going to use those to look at those answers. And we want you to put in the chat. I see that two answers have opposites, maybe. One's up, one's down. One's closed, one's open. We have two answers that start off the same way in a sentence, or they end the same way in the sentence. Observations like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want them to observe?
I want them to focus on words tonight. It's keywords tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then we're going to read the question. And I don't simply want you to say, oh, now that I've seen the question, the answer is A. No. What led you to pick that answer? What in the question? What key thing did you see that made you pick A or B or C or D? That's what we need to focus in on. Why? Because we're not here to master Q banks. We're here to master exams. We're here to look at the connections that never change when you go to any exam and no matter what they are written.
Right.
So let's go. All righty here. Let me move some stuff around so I can get the screen. D, entanglement. C, disgorgement.
Sure.
B, misrepresentation. A, replacement. D is tangled up. Disgorgement. I'd have to look that up. Replace, right? Misrepresent.
Lie.
Lie. Catfish. It's almost like a catfish in securities world. You say you were one thing and then you are not.
Wait, that's not how you spell it.
You said you looked like Denzel, but you looked more like Lou from around the corner. No.
Okay, I think it's enough.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think that's good.
A third-party post has been made on a broker-dealer's Facebook page. If the firm has has involved itself in the preparation of the content, this would be known as has involved itself. I would guess would be the keyword there, which is a connection of tangled up. So it really didn't matter what a disengorgement meant.
No, and guys, sometimes what happens is we get stuck on a word. We're like, I don't know what that word means, and then like we stop.
We stopped thinking.
We stop just trying. I mean,
Right.
maybe not trying, but like we focus on what we don't know, when most of the time you don't really even need to know what you don't know.
I ain't gonna lie. So what would happen normally if we're taking a quiz at home, right? We see disengorgement. What happens? Our ADD ticks over or whatever, and we're like immediately chat GPTing that thing.
No,
We're gonna look it up. We're gonna dictionary it. We're gonna do whatever. Well, I'm just saying that's what people do.
I know.
I'm not encouraging it, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
The right thing to do is what we just did.
Correct.
Work the question.
Work the question, because you're not going to have chat GPT. You're not going to have Google. You're not going to have a study guide. You're not going to have that stuff. You have to, and you are probably going to see words on the exams that you aren't used to seeing.
And one of the first things people do is, Brandy, you don't have disgorgement in your study guide.
Nah.
You know why?
Because
it's not a testable topic.
No.
We only put testable topics in our.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got fooled. D, physical address. C, social security number. B, educational background. A, date of birth. I would say this is almost like a ranking of things that are most important.
Right? Because usually when we see things like this, right?
Yeah.
We either have to pick the most important or the least important.
I would say date of birth is probably always important.
Okay, wait. This is deep. This is deep. Somebody in the chat, Diana, said they all have numbers except for B.
Yeah, I was just going to say that too.
Because date of birth is a number.
Yes.
Social security number.
Yes.
Physical address has a number.
Associated, yes.
There's no number.
No.
Interesting.
And if you were going deep and going, well, 12th grade. No.
No, that's just called high school.
No.
But no, okay. So, and like we said, normally this is like an important or not important, date of birth, personal information, date of birth, usually a huge identifier.
Right. And I'm just going to say, technique wise, if I was doing this and I've come across the same thing that Diana did and pointed out, I would have picked B.
And that's the least important of
without looking at the question.
Right. And can we back that up with your idea of important or not?
Yeah.
Probably
least important in my brain would be educational background.
Exactly.
The top three would be those three: date of birth, social security, and my physical address. Where you live in, what year were you born, and social security number only in the fact that I need to make sure you're in this country.
And I wanted to point that out.
Citizen, I should say, right?
Right. And I wanted to point that out, that we started with, usually when we see a list like this, it's important or not important. And then we pointed out the fact that B had no number. And then I wanted to tie it back to our original thought. Does that make sense? Like, I wanted to see why it was different. Guys, that's huge. That's connecting.
And we haven't even looked at it yet.
No.
Although this particular brand puts accept, so I would already have marked B, but we can continue. Compliance with the Customer Identification Program, CIP, requires that all of the following information must be obtained for new individual customers. There you go.
Right? So does that match all the highlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're done.
Yep.
Answered it before we solved the question. Do you see why we read the questions? I mean, the answers first. So if you're brand new and you're wondering, why do they do that?
That's why.
That's why.
That's why.
We already had the answer picked, confirmed with the question.
Yep.
That's how you stop reading questions over and over again. D, options. C, equities. B, bonds. A, Life insurance.
Easily.
Yes, A is life insurance. It's not a securities.
Right. And I was going to say easily a Tuesday night question because this is the only one with 2 words as well.
So many reasons why I would just pick A. But let's look at the question.
Because there's the name of the game.
It is the keyword Monday.
Connect.
And again, what a beautiful except there in Bolden. Each of the following may be traded on an exchange except. If you don't know that life insurance is not traded, as Biggie Smalls used to say, now you know.
Oh, I was gonna say, what does he say about life insurance? But okay, so
You didn't know, but now you know.
now I'm shouting it out for the people who say life insurance is a retirement plan.
And no, life insurance is insurance. It says it in the title.
It is in the title. It's not a retirement
It's not
plan.
hidden. It's on Front
It's
Street.
just a life insurance.
Um,
It's right there.
I mean, if I offended anybody,
It's more awareness. It's more awareness for those that might get told something by their employing firms.
disclosure of criminal charges. C, 10-year employment history, including full-time education. B, education, degrees, or designations. A, 5-year residency history.
So fun fact.
This must be like a U4
Yeah,
or an application.
yeah. We've already established something though, haven't we?
Yes, 2 numbers.
That is 2 numbers, but I meant from the previous question.
Yes,
Right, from the previous,
importance.
right? This is the least
That is
important.
the least important.
Fun fact.
I just want you to know that designations means is that you're going to point out that you are the assistant manager at the McDonald's at your local store.
Yes, and I want to say this is that this is the first time that I've ever seen a quiz speak to employment history, including full-time education. Um, that this is true
Yes.
in practicality. You have to account for your time 10 years back.
Yes,
You
because I
do.
think that's one of the hardest part for some people when they fill out their U4. They're like, I was in school for 7 years.
Right. Yes.
Didn't
No,
have a job.
no lie. I used to help people with their U4s in my office, guys. Oops, sorry. And
Of a biscuit.
and I want to say that I've had to put elementary schools on people's U4s.
Yes.
Anyways, sorry, my bad.
I was more focused that you could be the Big Mac rapper of the year.
Yeah.
That's a great designation.
Mhm.
All the following information is required to be provided on the form U4 except. Sorry, they didn't want to know that you were the best burrito rapper at the Del Taco.
Right. So required form, except the least important.
We salute you.
And look, I'm going to say this. I know I'm going a little deep tonight. I just feel like, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like this is super easy.
So somebody asked us in one of our member sessions today if they should put the answers on when they answer quizzes.
Yeah.
Look at what we did. Not that one, this one. We learned something in this one, right?
Yeah. If they had the answers on.
Right. And then we could use that information, even though we're talking about a form and not identification, we still identified it was the least important. This is why you put answers on when you're quizzing, because you can learn in the middle of a quiz. In case you were wondering.
By the way, I keep making fun of the designations, but sometimes it's fun to like really do that so that way you don't forget what that is and not get caught up in it.
Right. Absolutely.
D, the customer, the principal, and the representative coming to CBS this weekend. C, the representative and a principal. B, the customer and the representative. A, the customer and the principal of the broker dealer walked into a bar. I added the last part.
There's and exactly. There's an and in every answer choice. So
yeah, that's not going to work.
Right. So we got customer, customer, and customer.
And then we have C, the representative and the principal.
Right.
No customer involved in that one.
True. But we also have a principal, and a principal.
We do.
We have the rep. Guess I'll do this. Great observations, guys. Oh, and D.
And A has no rep, but a broker dealer.
Now, Does anybody find it fascinating that A says of the broker dealer and C does not say that and neither does D,
Yeah, I just pointed that out.
right? Is that curious? Very curious. Very curious, right? Okay.
Who must grant permission for a representative to have discretionary trading authority on an account?
Do you think the representative can grant their own permission?
I would say the customer would have to be included.
For sure. What a,
That would get rid of C.
but what about the representative? Does the representative grant permission for that? Like, do I grant my own permission?
No. Probably the boss does. The boss being the principal,
Right. And the person who's
running the firm or the broker dealer or whoever.
right.
That dude
Yeah.
or lady.
The person who's in charge
Dudette,
and the customer
man,
whose account it is.
sir,
Boom.
them.
Do you guys see how sometimes answer choices that are the more right answer would have a specificity? I don't know if I said that right.
Sure.
Of the broker dealer.
After I dismember disgorgement,
Right.
you can do that.
Okay. Fair enough. Does that make sense? For some reason, I knew the answer was A just simply because of the broker dealer.
Sorry, it's not a language test.
No, it's not.
It's a securities test.
It is.
D, Pete, a representative of Seacoast Securities. What's up, Pete? C, Patricia, a portfolio manager for an investment advisor that custodies all the Seacoast securities.
I read that as cookies the first time I saw that. Custodies. I don't even know if that's a real word.
I said custodies. I'm going with it. B, Ida, the CIO at Seacoast Securities. A, Bob, a customer of Seacoast Securities. It's probably custodies.
I think it's custodies, but I still have
But I love custodies.
never heard of that. It's like, I don't even know. Okay, can we gotta focus. I got a customer,
Okay, we got Bob, Ida, Patricia, and Pete.
I got CIO, I got a portfolio manager, and I got the rep.
Yes.
We needed to point that out.
Do we need to rank them?
I don't think we need Bob, Ida, Patricia, or Pete. In fact, most of the time, I don't even pay attention to their names.
Customer and designations.
Right. Customers and titles.
I thought that's what a designation is.
I don't know.
Seacoast Securities is underwriting the IPO of WareTech Technology. Ooh. Which of these may purchase the IPO at the pop? Pop.
Well,
we're not using securities vocabulary.
kinda. I'm just going to maybe mention that, but
I mean, some of you don't, I guess, watch Wall Street stuff.
may purchase. Thank you. May purchase. Now, let's keep this simple.
Who does buying? Customers.
Exactly. Thank you. That's where I went with this one because I was like,
as soon as you said, let's make it simple, I said, say less.
because I could say, well, Ida,
Simple,
Patricia, and Pete can also purchase because they're humans. But no, man, let's keep this super crazy simple. Who can purchase? A customer. Boom,
That's
boom,
all I thought about.
boom, boom. Without using the whole rule 5130 restricted persons is B, C, and D. We don't need that. All we needed to know is something simple. Bob is the most simple person up there. No offense, Bob.
You
But you're the
said
customer, bro.
you had me at simple.
See?
I said, hold my beer, say less. Customer buys.
And
That's all I know.
And I didn't mean it, Bob. You're not a simple person. It's just you're a simple.
You didn't go to school to buy stuff.
There you go. To buy stuff, sell stuff, trade stuff.
Customer. He's customer.
It's just a customer.
He said buying. So purchase, right?
There you
Purchase is buying.
There you go.
Bob didn't need to go to school for that.
Nah, he's like me and you. Well, not. He's like
Bob.
You. He's like you.
He's Bob. Popped open the app, purchased.
I did find it.
Purchased it right next to his underwear on Amazon.
I mean, next to the word Pete, it was a pretty simple name too. Patricia, Ida, Bob.
You don't hear Ida a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Well, thank you all for being here. That was it. That's all we had. We kept it simple. We kept it fast. Now we want you to go get yours. And look, if you are like, wow, that's cool. I want to learn more. Well, join up, join in, get in on it. SIE tomorrow, 6 tomorrow. We're going to use more of this. We're going to apply it. Look, we're here about getting a pass notice. If you noticed all of the stuff we went over, it wasn't that complicated. It's not that hard. A lot of complicated words don't have to be complicated. Either does your pass notice. All right, we'll be back tomorrow night for the Studying Brew. We're going to be doing techniques. So when I was like doing some of those and I was like, well, I would have picked that as B just because you're going to see that that's where I learned that from. Watch the techniques tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope you guys are here. But the only way that can happen, you got to stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. Keep the positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night. And thank you very much.
Thank you all so much for being on. We super appreciate you. Practice the Kona catchphrase in your quizzes. We will see you guys next time. Have a great one.